Now to the main event, the moment we've all been waiting for. Jamie, you had social media firing after your last appearance on Sky Sports Fan Club on Tuesday, mainly focused around your comments on Arsenal. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, here's a taste of what we're talking about.
Arteta's won nothing. He
has won the FA Cup.
He's won the FA Cup when he first got there, but, come on. What's he won recently with the team that is meant to win stuff? Let's not put Arteta in a bracket of being one of the best managers in the world. He's not. The top teams doing long throw-ins. I can't believe what I'm watching. It's all down to Arsenal. Arsenal started this. Arsenal started the long throw, the set pieces. They've killed the Premier League in terms of, fluid football.
How worried are you that this is Arsenal's season?
I'm getting there, Tom. The worry's coming. It's starting to set in. I might have to come to terms with the fact that Arsenal might do it.
By the way, that little clip there, I'm just looking at the rundown. The producers have called it the O'Hara Mega Mix.
The Mega Mix.
The Mega Mix.
There's a few out there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of eagle-eyed people.
The worry's coming, Tom. The worry's coming.
Your pictures changed on the big wall there behind. Right, you can see that we've got some Arsenal fans there. So Jamie's in the blue corner. We've got Arsenal fans in the red corner. It's Luke Henry, or Luke Henry, as we called him last week, and Scarlett Katz Roberts to defend their club. Right, Luke, I know you know Jamie well. Was he right the other day?
Well, just firstly, I saw the stick and twist picture. I think the last picture does you the world of good, Jamie. So next time, I think that should be your picture.
With the face paint.
No, seriously, on the subject, I think I understand why you did it, Jamie. I saw your argument, and then you floored your argument by saying that Glasner's a better manager, even though they've won the same trophies. Now, whether he's a top 10 manager in the world or not, that's a conversation for people to have. But what I can tell you that he's an elite manager. And the reason why I say that is because I like to listen to what the managers say and the ex-professionals or the professionals in the game right now. And when you've got like Thomas Frank calling him one of the best teams in the world, when Pep Guardiola said he was ready to manage, when Chris Wilder was talking about on a podcast about trying to bully Arsenal and then realised you couldn't do that. And then earlier in the week, you see Gary O'Neill talking about how he's so complete in every facet of the game. That shows elite coaching. And also, I think you saw that on Tuesday against Atletico. If you look at the goals we scored, yes, one was from a set piece. So we've got that different style of play. But also, the second goal is still the DNA of beautiful Arsenal. So what Arteta has done, he's looked at Arsene Wenger, he's looked at Pep Guardiola, he's looked at David Moyes. And what he's created is a massive culture of philosophies and identities that makes him an elite coach. So any game we play, any style of football match, we can now compete. I mean, look at the record that we've got. In the Champions League home stage, in this league phase, we've played 9 times, scored 27 goals and haven't conceded a single goal. We've got 3 goals conceded in all competitions. That's the best in our club history. So this is a manager that is an elite coach. And it's more than just what he does on the pitch, Jamie. It's what he does in the dressing room as well. And you're nodding your head there.
No, look, honestly, mate, you're chatting absolute garbage.
Well, I'm not. Think about it. And
you are. Look, I get it. He's an elite manager. No one's denying that Arteta's not an elite coach. He's an elite coach. But you Arsenal fans kicked up a massive stink about me saying that he wasn't a top 10 manager because Mourinho come out and said he's the best manager in the world. Well, I gave a fair argument, right? There's 10 managers who are better than him, who are elite coaches as well, by the way, and you're missing one big, massive thing.
Go on.
They've won trophies, multiple trophies, multiple big trophies, league titles, winners, Club World Cup, winners, Europa League, winners, Champions League, winners. That's the difference. I'm not saying Arteta's not an elite coach, but you can't put him in a top 10 just because he's a good manager.
You put 15 up there, Jamie, didn't you? 15 ahead of him. And by the way, on Glasgow, he hasn't just won the FA Cup, he has won he's won in Europe as well. But all of those, Jamie, you're not going to back down on any of those?
Of course. I mean, how can I back down? Look, how can I back down on any of them? I'm not saying that Arteta's not a brilliant manager. He's a really good manager. Next year, if he wins the double, Premier League, Champions League, put him in there. No problem, because he's proved it. But you can't put a manager in the top 10 and start talking about him as being the best manager in the world when you haven't won nothing. We are talking about some of the greatest managers in the world there. Pep Guardiola, don't even put him in the same breath as Mikel Arteta. All right? Mikel Arteta's doing a really good job. Arsenal are a good team. You ain't won nothing yet, so let's not talk about being better. And that's all I said. And you Arsenal fans that get so angry about it, he's a good manager, but he ain't a top 10 manager in the world.
Jamie, Scarlett, you come in there. Luke will come back to you in a moment.
I think we're quite lucky that you're not a manager. Arteta's so tactically flexible. And the truth is that smaller teams have got better playing against bigger teams. So what's he going to do? Is he going to just say, oh, we shouldn't play this way because Jamie O'Hara doesn't like it? You look for every single marginal gain you can find to win. That's what makes good managers. And it's true, he hasn't won yet. He has won the FA Cup. But Arsenal are in the mix year on year, and you might say that that's rubbish. But the margins between winning and losing are as thin as Son going through on goal and missing. And I don't know, were you happy about Son missing then?
Yeah, over the moon. Brilliant miss. It's a great save.
That's my point.
It's a great save.
Like, it's kind of arbitrary, isn't it? Like, you know Arsenal good. You're worried about Arsenal. We have
Scarlett,
exceptional quality.
Scarlett, Arsenal are the best at what they do. That's why they're top. I'm not taking anything away from what Arsenal do. Set pieces, they're amazing. Defensively, they're amazing. You know, organised, they're amazing. But it ain't a great watch. And everyone else is copying what Arsenal are doing. And that's credit to what Arteta's done and what Arsenal are doing. But in my opinion, it's killing what I want to watch. The product of what I want to watch, of good football, fluid football, making things happen. Arsenal are the best. But no one else is good enough. I watch people take long throws. They ain't even got long throws. But I'm not saying Arsenal ain't good at it, but I'm saying it's boring to watch.
Well, I think that's slightly unfair in relation to this season. I get there's not a massive sample size, but I think a lot of that idea is based on last season when we were catastrophically struck by an unbelievable amount of injuries and ended up with Mikel up front. So it's going to kind of affect how you're going to play going forward. And still we finished second. This season, I'm not actually sure what the numbers are right now, but I feel like in the last few games we've underperformed our XG. We are creating a lot more. You've been critical of Victor Gyökeres. He's creating space for other players. It is different this season. Luke mentioned we scored 2 goals from set pieces against Atletico, but we scored a glorious goal from open play and another quite ugly one. Like the variation is there, and that's what's important. I think arguably Arsenal are the best at playing in all ways that you just mentioned, both defensively and going forward.
By the way, in Jamie's defence, as a manager, he has got 4 trophies under his belt at the club he managed. So
yeah, well, got a few, yeah.
But look, in terms of going back to that, the 15 managers that Jamie had ahead of Arteta at this stage, I don't think even Glasner was on there, but Unai Emery was on it. Okay, and given what he has won at various clubs in Europe, would you swap Arteta for Emery?
No, I absolutely wouldn't. And the reason why is because managers, it's such a difficult thing to do, and different styles and different philosophies and cultures and fits for different teams, right? It would be a bit boring if every manager could walk in and work. That's why you've seen changes at Nottingham Forest, for example. But Unai Emery, for us, he just didn't understand that, some of the changes he used to make during the game used to baffle us. He used to make this change where he used to take off Kieran Tierney and Kolasinac and swap them every week. It's the same type of manager we saw like Mesut Ozil and Aaron Ramsey on the bench every week. It just didn't work. But that's not to say he's not an unbelievable manager in the job he's done with Aston Villa and the CV. Look, if you're asking me who's got a better CV, it's obviously Unai Emery. But people forget this is Mikel Arteta's first managerial job, and he's learning along the way. And what he's done, and I know people are going to throw in, he's spent a lot of money. He has spent a lot of money, but so have Spurs in that time, so have Chelsea in that time, and so have Manchester United. And the way you look at that is by how much the squad value is now worth.
Man United have won trophies, and so have Tottenham. Just let you know that.
But are you happy with your team? But are you happy with your team? Because it doesn't sound like you are. I saw you earlier, and it doesn't sound like you're happy with the style of play, and you don't want to give Thomas Frank 5 minutes in the job. So,
he's never said that.
No, I've never said
that.
No,
but
Thomas Frank, I like.
Yeah, but you're already criticising him already, and he's been there 5 minutes. We've seen Arteta develop and progress, but you have to give managers time. And I think in football, it's such a hypocrisy because we all want results. We all want a stable team with an environment. But as soon as even like Liverpool, I've been hearing Liverpool fans saying, is Arne Slot the guy? It's ridiculous. He's just lost 4 games. It's ridiculous. But the one I was struck at is Enzo Maresca. And I think that's where the context lies, because we weren't in the Club World Cup. We weren't poor enough to be in the Conference League, but just because of the trophy discourse, and he's won 2 trophies, he's automatically a better coach than Arteta. Now, there's probably Chelsea fans...
But how did you get on against in the Champions League, PSG?
Yeah, we lost.
You lost. But, how did Maresca get on in the final?
So that's the difference.
They won. That's the difference. He won, you lost.
Okay, so that's the fine margin of being a better coach. So we take everything, all the context out of it.
I'm just raising the argument. Maresca's a club world champion.
Right. So by that logic, then we beat Atletico Madrid 4-0.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid beat Real Madrid 5-2. So are you saying that Arteta is on the same as Alonso just because because of the fact he's won the?
No, but Maresca's won a trophy.
So that's my point. So there is no real logic or substance to the conversation. It's because you've won a trophy.
No, but you just don't like to admit it. You don't like to. Arteta's a really good manager, and he is. He's a brilliant manager. But these managers have won trophies. They've won trophies.
Arteta has won it.
As Luke was saying, if you were a player, where would you most think that you're likely to win going in the Premier League? Which dressing room would you want to walk into
Liverpool,
right now?
Man City.
Even in the situations they're in, I think honestly,
because they're proven winners.
I'm not a player, but
because
I
they're
think
champions.
But what's happening to them now? Like you've got managers in those situations, various different contexts. Guardiola potentially at the end of his career there, Slot having a really rough second season, and then you have Arteta, who's maybe a bit linked in, maybe a bit like lame with his light bulbs. But the fact is, I look at those players and I look at that team. They're really happy. They work really hard for each other, and they desperately want to win. And in terms of like a culture,
so do Liverpool and Man City.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
And they have won.
They won their game last night. Their team still looks unbalanced. They beat a very poor opposition in Frankfurt. I think in terms of Arteta's broader endorsement by other people, Luke mentioned other managers saying he's a great coach. You can take that with a pinch of salt, depending on why they want to flatter him. But our best centre-back and arguably one of our most important players just signed a new contract. Why would he do that if he didn't think Arsenal were going to win?
Well, because he loves being at Arsenal. I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. They're a brilliant football club. You asked me where I'd want to go if I wanted to win trophies. I told you, Liverpool, Man City.
OK, Jamie, Scarlett, Luke, thank you very much indeed. Speak to you again soon.
Luke, see you tonight.
See you, mate. See you in a bit.
Arsenal fans versus Jamie O'Hara, a clash of opinions. In the world of football, passion runs deep, and nowhere is this more evident than among the fervent supporters of Arsenal FC. Recently, a storm brewed when sports analyst Jamie O'Hara voiced his opinion that the Gunners' manager was not a top manager. This remark ignited a fiery reaction from fans, illustrating the passionate dynamics of football fandom. The spark, O'Hara's controversial statement. O'Hara, known for his candid and often provocative takes, suggested that Arsenal's manager lacked the credentials to be considered among the elite. His comments, made during a live broadcast, quickly caught the attention of a fanbase that prides itself on loyalty and pride in their club's history. For many Arsenal supporters, questioning the capabilities of their manager is akin to questioning their very identity. The response, a wave of fury. As word spread of O'Hara's remarks, social media erupted. Arsenal fans took to platforms like Twitter and Instagram, expressing their outrage. Memes, tweets, and passionate posts flooded timelines, showcasing the community's discontent. Some fans called for O'Hara to apologize, while others suggested that he should be more careful with his words, given the emotional investment fans have in their club. A confrontation brewing. Fueled by the collective indignation, a group of dedicated Arsenal supporters decided to take their grievances a step further. What began as a digital uproar transformed into a physical confrontation. Armed with chants and banners, these fans approached O'Hara during a public appearance, ready to voice their dissent in person. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the tension of a London derby. Fans were united, their chants echoing the sentiment that their manager deserved respect. The confrontation, while heated, remained largely peaceful, showcasing the passionate yet respectful nature of most football fans. The aftermath, reflection and dialogue. Following the incident, O'Hara took to social media to address the uproar. He acknowledged the fans' passion and reiterated his stance, emphasizing that opinions in football are subjective and often divisive. This prompted a wave of responses from fans, some defending their right to express anger while others encouraged a more constructive dialogue about the team's direction. The situation highlighted the delicate balance between fan loyalty and critical analysis in football. As clubs strive for success, the scrutiny of managers becomes part and parcel of the sport. However, it's crucial for analysts and fans alike to navigate this landscape with care, respecting the emotional ties that bind supporters to their teams. A lesson in passion. The clash between Arsenal fans and Jamie O'Hara serves as a microcosm of the broader football culture, a realm where opinions can ignite fierce debates. It's a reminder that, while football is a game of statistics and tactics, it is also deeply personal. As fans continue to support their teams with unwavering fervor, analysts must tread thoughtfully, understanding that their words carry weight in a world fueled by passion and pride. In the end, it's this very passion that makes football the beautiful game it is, uniting fans and sparking conversations that resonate far beyond the pitch.